Hey everybody, I am really excited today. I have Kylie Montes. You might know her better as Kiki Coquette from Rebel Birds Burlesque. We have some really exciting stuff to talk about, like art, which is always fabulous, and dance, and Kylie's even writing a book. So it's a lot to discuss. Hi, Kylie.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited. So tell us like what you've been up to recently. I mean, obviously
So
nothing
it's
because
a
of
good time
quarantine,
to
but
be locked. Yeah, it's a good time to be locked down for me, kind of, because I've been trying to write and finish this book, um, but kind of not because I don't have any quiet time. But sneaking away where I can, staying in as much as I can to get it done. But
yeah.
it's pretty much on schedule, and I'm really excited to share with everybody in Ogden, especially a lot of cool things. There's a lot of little street drop in. If you're an Ogden local, you'll totally get it sort of things in there.
Awesome. So your book is called Coming Out Burlesque in Ogden, Utah, right? Okay,
Yes.
I did write it down right. So tell us a little bit about what it's going to be about, and then of course when it's going to be released.
Okay, so I was hoping to release it for pre-sale the 1st of May, but I think it's going to be June,
Okay.
hopefully June 1st.
Yeah.
And then that's the goal. If not, the events and the readings and all that are scheduled for August. So definitely the summer. Um, and it's about where I started out in like 2006, finding out what burlesque was and just being obsessed about it. And I really wanted to have a venue and a troupe and do it. So I've been obsessed about that for a long time, and it's slowly but surely happening. And there's a lot of crazy side twists that happened along the way. So that's pretty much what the story is.
Awesome. So tell everyone a little bit about burlesque because I think that there are a lot of misconceptions out there. Like,
Agreed. That is another reason why I'm like, you know what, I just gotta write this down because my style of burlesque, like maybe you might have noticed if you look at my page compared to other burlesquers that like it started out as theater. It had nothing, it was about parody and jokes and comedy in the 1800s in Italian theater.
oh, cool.
And
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
yeah, the word burlesque itself is actually an Italian word for joke.
Oh,
So it has nothing to do with how naked you can get, how sexy you can be. And that's the mainstream misconception that I'm just here to say that's not what it all is. You can do that, you can be that, but that's not what it started as, and that's not all there is. And some people don't get that. A lot of people don't get that. And
yeah.
the most frustrating thing is the people that do burlesque don't even get that.
So you're like here to squash that and
See my point of view, you know.
I mean, no, I think it's and I think that's kind of the cool thing about burlesque is you can bring your own personality and your own style to it. And that's what I've really enjoyed like learning about burlesque. I mean, I'm not a connoisseur at all, but learning what I have, it's just really cool to see different performers doing different things and I think that's what makes it so unique and so fun to watch.
Exactly. And like even though my personal aesthetic isn't pasties and G-strings, like my feminist point of view is and my artist point of view is we need a place where it's safe for us to express ourselves however we want to.
Yeah.
And whether I personally am about that aesthetic or not, I'm about creating that space for it to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of Utah laws that a lot of other states don't have that we have to deal with too. So I'm going to touch on that a little bit in the book, but try
Yeah.
not to get story.
So is it like, does it just make it more difficult to actually be a performer in Utah?
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's mostly about a lot of the other girls, they want to be able to get down to G-strings and pasties, but if the establishment serves alcohol, then you have to keep mostly full boob covered and your butt crack covered. So most of the girls, if you see like the cutout underwear that have like strappies, that's kind of their way of being like, this is as naked as I can, like I'm pushing the boundary. Or sometimes they'll have like the bottom bra part cut out because you're not supposed to go past the top part.
Oh my
So it's
gosh.
all burlesque, and I'm fantasized about the rebellion and about everybody being able to push, trying to push the boundaries in their own different kind of way. But
Yeah. So is that where the name Rebel Birds Burlesque comes from?
yeah, it's actually the name is a really touchy chapter. That's kind of in the first because it started out as something else, and then we changed it out of respect, I guess. But yeah, we'll go into that. I didn't really want to go into that in the book, but then I was like, yeah, it's part of the story, and everything's cool now. But so we, as a troupe, I finally had a couple people as a troupe at that time. So I threw things back and forth and wanted to kind of keep an Ogden tie-in, but then it just became like too cliche. Like I think bootleg and birds was in there at some point, and everybody just shot down all my little things that I was throwing out there. So we decided on that, and then later I was like on 25th Street, and I was like, I love Belle London, I'm obsessed with her as a madam and what she did for prostitution and like basically legalized it underground, kind of like she's just controversial, like total business pro though.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's my Ogden tie-in right there. It's a little subtle, just there.
Oh, I like that. That's really, really interesting. That's so cool. Well, I'm excited to read your book. I think it's going to be really, really eye-opening, and I think it'll be really educational for people because I don't know that much, and I think a lot of other people don't know that much about burlesque. So, you've already taught me a bunch about it, so that's great.
That's really good. I'm glad because there's the mainstream perception. Like if you Google it, you're going to see corsets and feather boas and gloves and get glamour mostly, and that's fun. And I know that as a teacher, as someone that's taught it, I understand what the mainstream I know what people think they're going to get, but I'm like, I love hip hop, I love punk rock, and this is what I said to my troupe when we started. I'm not doing any of those things. If we do any of those things, they're going to be different and weird, and how is it going to be like we didn't see that coming? You know what I mean? Like,
so
that was of us.
Yeah, so that's kind of what defines you, is that you are like this atypical.
And yeah, as my aesthetic in general, it's just let's be different than any they're not going to this next beat. We dance to what we like. We're not reenacting someone else's things, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I've never done a classic act. I'm not saying there's no place for that, but there's a place for me, and I'm not feeling like people that do that stuff are welcoming us in the same, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think that's really awesome. I think performers do have to find what makes them different, and I think it's really awesome that you have this very powerful aesthetic that you understand and you can put out there, and it's just kind of like this balls to the wall, like we're doing it our way kind of thing. That's great.
I'm like, I'm not wearing heels, and I wanted to create a space where people could feel like that too, because I kind of tried to maybe join other troupes, but I'm like, I am not dancing in that, you know what I mean? Like, it's more for me to dance and to be able to move than to be in a corset or to be in high heels, because that's just not me. It's not comfortable. It's not cute. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
we're wearing boots, we're wearing motorcycle jackets, and you guys can do whatever else. If you want to do that, you do that.
Yeah, well, and I like, you know, throwing it back to when you were first talking about what burlesque's roots are. You know, I think it's really interesting that people feel like it has to be this like boudoir kind of sexy show,
right?
When like really it can be anything you want it to be, and it's just you being like, it's your personality amplified on the stage.
Exactly. That kind of brings me to the Utah Vaudeville and Burlesque Collective thing, because I started that we needed a name, because all of the people that were doing burlesque together started putting on shows together and helping each other out and deciding these are the laws. We need to set a boundary. We need to set a pay thing. We need to get paid for this. You know, like, we're putting too much into this and getting $15 a show. So I had been going to Ogden City, all those cool arts and action things, and I was like, I need a professional name for us, and I wanted to keep burlesque in there, because I just think everybody needs to know about. Let's talk about it, guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, bring it some awareness.
Throwing vaudeville in there too, because kids can do it. Anybody can do all this stuff. It's comedy. It's circus. It's, you know, like, it doesn't have to be this taboo subject of what you're probably thinking it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got that on the table. Ogden City gave us some money, and we did a show, and me and my 7-year-old did a little dance. I'll show you the prop I made. I'm all about paper bags, and, and so I made this flower headpiece thing.
That is so awesome.
And we did like this little trolls type of dance and stuff. And my friend Madison, who does burlesque and who's all about, like, you know, taking it as far as she can nude-wise and all that, she's a really awesome family-friendly performer too, who does clowning and puppetry and like a bunch of cool stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And like, we also need to bring awareness to like safe sex practices and different things like that in our community, because unfortunately it's still a problem, and people don't know what consent is. And no, you don't just go touch someone at all, ever, you know, like, not just the dancers. We need to like be a beacon for safe space, pretty much, I feel.
Yeah, and I think that's a really great way to look at it too, is it's not just entertainment, it's also education.
Yeah, exactly. I'm part of like teaching classes and stuff too. So many people open up to me of like, I've had this trauma, and this is a way for me to come and find myself and be myself and own this power, you know what I mean? So yeah. As a teacher, it's always just really important for me to give people, like, here's your blank canvas, here's your tools, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? Where I feel like other troops or classes or whatever, like, this is what we do. And some people love that, and some people want that, and I feel like people might be disappointed when they get what they would get with me, but that's just my teaching style, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think that's a really cool thing, and I really, well, since I was a teacher for 10 years, you know, I totally get, like, you have to have different things for different people, because that's what makes it unique, and that's what makes it art, is people figuring out what works for them. So I think it's awesome that you offer a different type of experience. I think we need that.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's see some more of your art.
Oh, okay, I made this crown type of thing. Let's see if it still fits. It's a paper bag magic too. Probably not finished, but it's just a wall of avant-garde magic.
I love it.
Since I'm an Ogden, huge Ogden fan, shout out to Creative Manny for my shirt.
Woohoo!
This little Yeti a little while back. Out of cardboard. His feet kind of fell off.
That's awesome.
Cardboard and acrylic.
So you're doing a lot of upcycled art.
Yeah, for sure. I mostly started out like burlesque and everything, just like, what do I have? I'm just gonna use what I have, and like I kind of got in this phase for a little while, like I have to buy something for my new act, or I have to get my makeup done, or I have to get my lashes, you know. And then I'm like, I lost myself hard for a minute once we got in it, you know. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
dude, you already can just like make it, you know. Like I have people started donating craft supplies and stuff to me for burlesque, and I just, it piled up, and like random acts come up and you're like, okay, cool. But
That's so cool. I love that you have supporters that
I
are doing that.
really wanted to be in burlesque too is because I'm obsessed with dancing and making up dances. That's the main thing. Comedy skits and that kind of thing. And then costuming, like I love making that kind of stuff too. So it all comes together, and then you kind of have to do the modeling thing, which I absolutely I have good picture ideas, but then when you see the pictures, you're like, oh man. But yeah, and then
do a great job.
That's great. We all love the admin work that we get to do. I got a photo. I'm from the Ogden wide family, and the Ogden first girl, you know.
Oh yeah.
First, they let me be in a little show back in the day, so I feel like I just had my babies like one and slowly coming back in, but just kind of started out going to the KSL free section and being like, oh, there's some random petticoats and stuff like that.
Cool.
Get myself out of the depression. Yeah. Painting helps with that.
Definitely. So how can people follow along and see where your acts are going to be and that kind of stuff?
I have a website. It's on, if my Instagram is pretty much what I keep up with the most right now. But I have a website. It's linked on there. It's Kiki Coquette, WordPress.com, I think.
Okay.
And I will, when the shows come, when we can go back outside, I'll post everything that's coming up there, and then I have a Facebook too, Kiki Coquette and Rebel Birds and Utah Vaudeville and Burlesque, so I'll probably try to blast it on all those too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll definitely add links to everything so that people can find it. So,
awesome.
Yeah, anything else you want to add?
No, thank you so much. I hope I didn't take up way.
Oh my gosh, you did great. Thank you. I really feel like this was super educational for a lot of people, and I think it's really cool that you're doing something unique. And you know, I love highlighting people that are doing unique stuff, and hopefully we're out of this quarantine sooner rather than later so you can get back to performing. But I mean, at least you got your book to work on, and I'm excited for that too.
Yeah, that's another cool thing. There's so many different aspects to it that you can teach or, produce shows. I never wanted to do that job. I just wanted a place to dance, and then I realized, well, I gotta find it. I gotta find the DJ. I gotta do all it. Never wanted to do anything.
Well, you're killing it, so good job.
You rock.
Hey, well, thank you so much, Kylie, and everybody, thank you for watching. I'll get all those links so that you can find everything and you can get in contact with Kylie, aka Kiki Coquette, so that, if you have a venue where you'd like to have some burlesque happening, you'll know how to reach out. So thanks so much for watching. Everybody have a great day.